Hey, good afternoon. It's Freedom's Witness again, and thought I would share something again since I'm making videos today about something that happened yesterday. As you know, my parents, Jehovah's Witnesses, pretty much go through the whole shunning process with all their kids and just mass mistreatment, gross mistreatment. But anyway, my parents are getting older. I think my dad is like 73. His birthday was on the 23rd last Saturday, and my mom might be 73 this year. I can't remember exactly, but I'm talking to my sisters and family, and I hear how frail my dad's becoming, and just how unhealthy he looks, and just like really in unhealthy shape. And I think talking to him from yesterday, like, you can't go through life just mistreating people and expect life to be so good to you. If you go through and just treat people like shit and disrespect them and show them conditional love and mistreat them, when you get older, life is not going to be good to you forever. Like, I firmly believe in karma. Can't quite 100% define it, but I do believe that how you treat other people comes back to you at some point in your life. So, I'm not a complete ass. I'm not a complete dick, but I feel like my parents' extreme shunning of me is like they're dead. So really, like when they die, I mean, I might find a lot of peace from that. Tell me I'm not the only one who believes that way. So yesterday, kind of in my feelings just a little bit, missing my dad and mom, even though they mistreat me so, they're still my parents, right? And preface that with the fact that my youngest son just moved back home for the first time with me since before he was a little kid. He moved in, I think, December of last year, and we have him on this trajectory where he's going to be going to college, getting a job, building his life, experiencing all the things that he should have experienced when he was younger, outside of going to the Kingdom Hall, right? So we're not supporting any of that stuff, and he's happily going down the path that we've laid out for him. Although it's an individual one, we've laid out a path for him to grow his life and get into a certain place where his life can have a trajectory that goes off that way, where he can grow his life, right? So we're not putting any bounds on him or any chains. We're saying, look, life is about freedom. Life is about living without fear. But anyway, that's me as a dad trying to do the things that should have been done years ago, but because of my mind control where I was in that call, I couldn't do it, and my parents probably couldn't do it either. So, and that's another story. But my point is, I called my dad on the phone, and he has me blocked on all my other numbers. I have two numbers. I have my personal number, and then I have my work number, cell phone, which I never thought. It's like, let me just call him. So I called him from my work number, and he actually answered. And I was like, hey, Dad, just want to see how you're doing. And he instantly hung up. Didn't say a word. He just hung up. I was like, wow, maybe that was an accident. So then I called back with the same number, went right to voicemail. And the reason that, I know that's what he's going to do. My mother has me blocked. I can't get through to no one. If I were to die or something crazy would happen, they would never know unless somebody on my side of the family said, hey, your son died, or some craziness. Like even anybody I'm around just cannot even fathom putting your own son or daughter on block, and you can never get to them. They can't get to you. Just the level of arrogance and hate and conditional love that they have is just unbelievable. Sometimes I can't even fathom it. Just the fact of imagining I haven't seen my mom in like 5 years or more. I haven't seen my dad since the last time he was laying in the hospital bed, looking at me, couldn't even move the side of his face because he had a stroke, or couldn't even pee by himself. He had to get my sister to hold his wee because he couldn't hold his own. He couldn't look at me, and I drove all the way from Chicago to see his dumb ass. So anyway, I'm feeling like, the end is nigh, right? He's old, and he's falling on stuff and getting confused and just acting like it's totally end of the story for him. So I kind of feeling like, hey man, how am I going to manage when my dad dies or my mom dies? How am I going to get closure? Like, there is no closure for me. And so when I made this call, I knew what was going to happen. Yeah, it didn't emotionally affect me too much, but it made me feel very sad. Like, wow, you don't really care how I'm going to survive in the rest of my life when you die. Like, who does that? Like, how is that love of any form? I know I'm not the only ex-Jehovah's Witness going through this craziness. I have actually heard friends or people say that their mom and dad just flat out fucking died, and they had no closure, never got to talk to them. Their family members didn't even call and say, your dad died, or your mom died. Like, how does that work? So I know people in my immediate circle, they hate it when I say it, but I swear to God, I wish my parents would just hurry up and just die. Just be done with it, because like, you're not bringing any value to me. But but if they were to come to my house tomorrow morning and say, knock on my door, I'm like, yo, come on in. Let's eat. Let's have fun. Let's love for the time that you have left. But I just cannot imagine. Well, I'm living it, but I can't even comprehend the level of lostness that, how could you, I clamored and fought a battle to get my youngest son to move in with me so that I could get my hands on him, And when he came to me, he was completely just stressed the fuck out. As a 19-year-old, I'd never seen a 19-year-old kid so fucked out, fucking stressed out, because your mama threw you on the street and said you can't live in this house because you don't want to be a Jehovah's Witness or you disfellowship or anything. I can't imagine a dad, a grown man like me, saying, I want nothing to do with you because you don't want to believe in my church or whatever. I just can't comprehend it. And yet I live it every single day. And so actually just the thought of my parents dying, I don't even know how I'm going to cope, but I just wanted to hurry up so I can get on with building my life. I mean, I got all these great things coming up, yet this is hanging on my mind now because I know that they're so unhealthy, yet I can't even get any closure. So I don't know, man, if any of you people have a way out there to cope with this shit, I would so like to know what your processes have been or what you're doing, because I mean, I even have considered driving to Ohio and just knock on the door and say, and just like, yo, they're not going to be in, but I mean, I don't know, just wait until they come outside to go to the Kingdom Hall or whatever. And if I could just get a hug, even if it's forced, come here, bitch, you gonna hug me. If I just get a hug or something before they pass on, then I think that would go a long way towards helping me cope with what I feel like is coming sooner than later. Man, oh man, oh man. What a terrible situation to have to grapple with. All right, this is Freedom's Witness. I think I've said enough. Peace out.